Okay, picture this. You've spent months, maybe even longer, hustling like mad. You're meditating, you're journaling, doing all the things.
All the right things, supposedly.
Exactly. And yet you still find yourself snapping at your team. Maybe you lose that crucial deal, or you just know deep down you're somehow sabotaging your own growth.
It's a frustrating place to be. You feel like you should be making progress, but something's off.
Well, here's the potentially tough truth. Your brain. It might just be wired for yesterday, for a world that doesn't quite exist anymore.
Operating on old software, basically.
And unless you actively work to fix that wiring, like right now, those big ambitions you have for 2025, they might already be in trouble.
Oof. That's a strong statement, but honestly, quite relevant.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to look at what it really takes to not just survive, but actually thrive in this, well, constantly shifting world.
It's moving faster than ever, isn't it?
It really is. And today we're diving deep into something critical, updating our mental software, specifically for the kind of challenges entrepreneurs are facing heading into 2025.
Challenges like AI becoming more pervasive,
Yeah.
right? Constant digital noise, distractions.
You got it. And just this feeling of unprecedented rapid change everywhere.
It demands a different internal operating system.
So our mission today for you listening is to give you some really actionable insights. We want you to walk away understanding how to find maybe a bit more calm amidst all this chaos.
And how to tackle those lurking fears, especially the ones about AI potentially outpacing you or making your role obsolete.
Yeah, those are real fears. And ultimately, how to build those lasting success habits right into your brain's circuitry.
It's about making resilience and clear thinking your default mode, not something you have to constantly fight for.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How these incredibly powerful brains we have can sometimes run on, let's say, outdated programming. It hinders us without us always realizing it.
Absolutely. And in today's environment, consciously evolving how we think, how we react, it's not just a nice to have anymore. It's becoming, frankly, essential for navigating what's coming.
Okay, so let's start with a concept that might raise some eyebrows. This idea that our brains can almost get, well, addicted to anger.
Yeah. Addiction is a strong word, but it points to a real phenomenon. Think about the current climate.
The AI pressure cooker, the nonstop notifications, the news cycle.
Precisely.
Yeah.
All that stuff cranks up our baseline stress levels. It puts our nervous system on a kind of high alert almost constantly.
Okay, so what does that do?
Well, it lowers our threshold for frustration. Things that might not have bothered you much before. Suddenly they feel like a big deal. You become more reactive.
Like your fuse gets shorter.
Exactly. It's like the emotional circuits connected to anger and frustration are being primed, almost waiting to fire off. And when they fire repeatedly, those pathways get stronger. Easier to trigger next time.
Ah, okay, so that's the addiction part. The brain gets used to taking that angry path because it's become like well-worn territory.
Sort of, yes. It becomes a default response pattern. Not a conscious choice usually, but ingrained reaction.
Wow. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the fix? You mentioned something called the daily heals method. Sounds calming.
It is, and it's intentionally designed to counteract that reactivity. HEALS stands for Healing Emotions with Awareness, Love, and Safety.
Awareness, love, safety. Okay, how does it work in practice? Is it complicated?
Not at all. That's the beauty of it. It's designed as a quick, maybe 5-minute practice you can do each morning.
5 minutes. Everyone can find 5 minutes, right?
Hopefully. And in those 5 minutes, you're intentionally focusing on, well, generating feelings associated with those words. Cultivating awareness of your current emotional state without judgment. Then, actively generating feelings of self-compassion or love. And finally, creating a sense of inner safety and security.
So you're consciously directing your brain towards positive states.
Yes. You're giving your brain a gentle reset. It's like tuning into a different frequency first thing in the morning, weakening that automatic jump to anger or frustration. You're building an alternative pathway.
That makes a lot of sense. It reminds me, you hear about high performers having strict morning routines. I think the source mentioned Alex Hormozi using mental resets.
That's a great example. People like Hormozi, they understand that managing your internal state isn't fluff. It's fundamental.
It's strategy.
Absolutely, it's core strategy. Because if your emotional state is hijacking your thinking, your performance inevitably suffers. These resets help maintain clarity under pressure.
Which brings us nicely to the next point, decision making. Because anger, or even just strong frustration, can totally mess up our judgment, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. Critically. Think about the business landscape of 2025. It's going to be complex, fast-moving,
Mistakes will be costly.
very costly. And decisions made in the heat of the moment, driven by anger or fear, are rarely the best ones. Calm, clear thinking really is becoming a massive competitive advantage.
How exactly does anger derail the thinking process? Like, what's happening in the brain?
Well, when strong emotions like anger surge, they can trigger the amygdala, the brain's threat detector. This can, in turn, temporarily reduce activity in the prefrontal cortex.
Which is the rational thinking part.
Exactly. Your brain's CEO, responsible for planning, judgment, impulse control. So effectively, the emotional reactive part takes over from the strategic part.
Okay, scary. So you react instead of responding thoughtfully.
Precisely. You're more likely to make impulsive choices, say things you regret, or misinterpret situations.
So how do we fight that? The source mentioned a pause to process technique. Sounds simple. Just take 5 breaths before a big decision.
Simple but incredibly effective.
Is it really enough just breathing?
Think about what those breaths do. They create a pause, a space between the trigger and your response. In that space, even just a few seconds, you interrupt the automatic emotional hijack. You give your nervous system a chance to calm down slightly. And crucially, you allow blood flow and activity to return to the prefrontal cortex.
So you're letting the CEO get back online, basically.
That's a great way to put it. You're bringing your rational mind back into the loop before you act. It's amazing how much clarity can emerge in just 5 conscious breaths.
It makes you think of people known for their calm under pressure. Like Oprah was mentioned as an example, right? Her strategic calmness.
Yes, a perfect illustration. Think of the high-stakes decisions she must make constantly. That ability to remain centered, to pause and consider rather than react impulsively, is undoubtedly a huge part of her success. It's a practiced skill.
Practiced. That's key. It's not magic, it's training. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Let's dig into something maybe less obvious, but potentially even more powerful. The unconscious mind.
The hidden depths.
Yeah. Specifically, those unconscious fears that so many entrepreneurs wrestle with, especially now with AI looming large. Fears like being replaced.
That's a big one. The fear of obsolescence. The fear that AI will devalue your skills or even take over your business niche.
And these fears, even if we don't consciously dwell on them, they can still sabotage us. How?
Absolutely. They operate beneath the surface, influencing our choices in subtle ways. Maybe you find yourself hesitating to adopt a new AI tool that could actually help your business.
Or maybe you shy away from taking a calculated risk because deep down there's this feeling of, what if I fail and AI was the right way anyway?
Exactly. It can manifest as procrastination, self-doubt, playing small, a general reluctance to embrace the very changes that are shaping the future economy. It puts a brake on your potential.
So it's like driving with the handbrake slightly on. You might still move forward, but it's way harder work.
A perfect analogy. You're fighting against an unseen resistance within yourself.
Okay, so how do we get to these deep-seated fears? How do we rewire them? The idea mentioned was using daily affirmations paired with visualization.
Yes, this is about actively reshaping your subconscious programming. Affirmations work on the level of conscious belief, stating what you want to be true.
Like, I am capable of adapting and thriving alongside AI.
Precisely. But pairing that with visualization makes it much more powerful. Visualization engages the emotional, imaginative parts of the brain.
So you don't just say it, you feel it. You see yourself successfully navigating the AI landscape.
Exactly. You create vivid mental images of yourself achieving your goals, feeling confident, overcoming those specific fears like the fear of being replaced. By doing this regularly, you're literally building new neural pathways.
You're carving out new routes in the brain that feel positive and capable, overriding the old fear-based ones.
That's the goal. You're training your subconscious mind to accept a new reality, one where you are empowered, not threatened, by technological change.
And the example given was Elon Musk, right? Using visualization before his big ventures.
Yes. He's spoken about vividly imagining successful outcomes for SpaceX launches, for Tesla developments. It's a way of aligning his belief system and mental energy with the desired result. It primes the brain for success.
It really underscores that our internal world profoundly shapes our external results. It's not just about the external hustle.
Not at all. The inner game is arguably becoming even more important.
Okay, final big takeaway. Empathy. This one surprised me a little. Why is empathy being framed as a new superpower, specifically for 2025?
Well, think about the trajectory. As AI handles more of the routine analytical tasks, what becomes more valuable?
The human stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The uniquely human skills. Connection, understanding, relating to others. In a world that's increasingly digital, maybe even feeling a bit impersonal at times.
Genuine empathy stands out.
Massively. It allows entrepreneurs to truly understand their customers' needs and pain points on a deeper level than any algorithm can. It helps build strong, cohesive teams. It fosters better negotiation and collaboration.
So it's not just being nice. It's a strategic advantage in this hyper-connected AI-driven economy.
Absolutely. Relational skills are becoming paramount. Empathy is the foundation of those skills. It helps you see the world from multiple perspectives.
How do you train empathy? It feels a bit abstract.
It's more concrete than you might think. It involves conscious practice, like taking time each day to actively reflect on the perspectives of others.
Like really putting yourself in your customer's shoes, or even a competitor's.
Yes. Asking, what are their challenges? What are their motivations? What does this situation look like from their point of view? How is my team feeling about this project?
It's like exercising a muscle. The more you consciously try to see from other viewpoints.
The stronger that empathetic capacity becomes. It becomes more intuitive, more automatic over time.
The material mentioned a fictional 2025 founder achieving viral success through empathy. Can you elaborate on that?
Imagine a founder launching a product. Instead of just focusing on features or aggressive marketing, they build their entire campaign around a deep, empathetic understanding of a specific problem their audience faces.
So the messaging, the product itself, it all resonates because it genuinely speaks to the audience's experience.
Exactly. People feel seen, understood. That connection drives loyalty, word of mouth, potentially viral success, not because of slick tricks, but because of authentic human understanding. That's the power of empathy in the future economy.
Wow. Okay. That really reframes empathy from a soft skill to a core business driver.
It absolutely is.
Huh.
In the age of AI, mastering human connection is how you truly stand out and build lasting value.
So let's try and wrap this all up. It's a lot to take in, but incredibly important. The core message seems to be you are not defined by your anger or your knee-jerk reactions.
Definitely not. Those are often just habits, patterns based on that outdated wiring we talked about.
Right. Your brain is wired for a world that's past, or at least passing. And the entrepreneurs who are really going to crush it in 2025 and beyond.
They aren't just the ones hustling harder. They're the ones rewiring smarter.
Love that. Rewire smarter. So the call to action is really start today. Start building that new success circuitry in your brain, because that's how you'll navigate and maybe even dominate tomorrow's economy.
It's an ongoing process, but starting is the most crucial step.
And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Think about one specific anger trigger you've experienced recently, something that really set you off.
We all have them.
Now, just imagine for a second, what if in that exact moment you had applied that pause to process technique, just those 5 conscious breaths?
How might the outcome have been different? How might you have felt differently? How might the other person involved have reacted differently?
Just pondering that question, that very reflection, that's the beginning of the rewiring process, isn't it?
It absolutely is. That awareness is the first vital step towards change.